This is Nightline and I'm Muhammed Ahmad Hamdan, news making the headlines. PM Cabinet Ministers attend retreat to set KPI and discuss government's way forward. And death toll climbs to 68 in Nepal plane crash. Good morning. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim and 27 cabinet ministers on Sunday attended a Unity Government Cabinet Minister retreat at Sri Perdana Complex, Putrajaya. According to a Prime Minister's Department statement, the program, which was also attended by 10 senior government officials, was carried out to bolster consensus and solidarity among cabinet ministers. In a statement, the PM's department said it was in line with the desire of the Prime Minister in translating the resolution and reform agenda in the administration of the unity government. The retreat program had special briefing sessions covering important aspects towards strengthening delivery and governance of the government machinery. Such aspects included government structures and public administration affairs, financial management and government procurement, international conferences and national interests, government protocol and professionalism, sustainable development, economic scenarios and challenges, as well as briefings related to media communication. Apart from that, the Chief Secretary to the government, Tan Sri Muhammad Zuki Ali, also delivered a briefing on the implementation of key performance indicators, KPI, for members of the cabinet at the retreat session. Commenting on the retreat, cabinet ministers present described it as a platform for discussing various plans in supporting the aspirations of the unity government. The meeting was also seen as an avenue to evaluate their performance after the 15th general election. In his social media post, Home Minister Dato Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said many things were discussed by the ministers involved. Most importantly, the question of directions and the determination of main KPI for each ministry outlined by the Prime Minister needs to be taken accordingly. Works Minister Dato Sri Alexander Nantalingi also shared the same sentiment, viewing the retreat as opportunity to discuss the planning and direction of the ministry guided by the focus of the unity government. As for Science and Technology Minister Chang Li Kang, the retreat is an important symbol for the unity government to work together and collectively to bring changes that can be felt by the people. The Prime Minister extended Pongal greetings to the Tamil community in Malaysia celebrating the festival on Sunday. In his social media post, Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim hopes that the festival will bring prosperity and health to everyone. He said the Tamil community celebrates the Pongal festival as a sign of gratitude for increased sustenance. In addition, this auspicious day for the community is also a symbol and a catalyst to reject old practices and attitudes and promote change and create a new shift. The Tamil community celebrates the arrival of the Pongal Harvest Festival in the 10th month of the Tamil calendar known as Thai, and it is an important festival especially for the farming community. The status of Sarawak and Sabah as regions in Malaysia is to be discussed during the Malaysia Agreement 1963 MA63 meeting between the federal government scheduled on January 19th. Sarawak Premier Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunoping said the change in the status of the two states as regions was still at the proposal stage.
Sebab itu kita meminta perlembagaan MA63. Dan ini adalah mengikut apa yang termaktub dalam perlembagaan kita yang telah mengambil kira memasuki MA63 dan IGC. Sebenarnya kita wilayah. Sebab itu jawatan Ketua Menteri ditukar kepada Premier.
He said this to the media at the Kuching Car Free Day program in Kuching. Last Friday, Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, who is also UMNO President, in his policy speech at the party's General Assembly said Sabah and Sarawak have been accorded the status of region and are no longer regarded as states within Malaysia, but did not say when it came into effect. Moving on, Perak recorded a total of 4 cases of African swine fever ASF involving 2 districts in the state from December to early this year. State Human Resources, Health and Indian Community Affairs Committee Chairman A. Sivanesan confirmed this matter on Sunday. He said 3 positive cases of ASF were detected in commercial pig farms, 1 in a farm in Bido and 2 others in Sungai Siput between December last year and January 3rd. He added that there was another ASF positive case reported in Kuala Kangsar district as a result of surveillance carried out by the Perak Veterinary Services Department within the 10-kilometre radius of the farm that reported an infection on January 13th. Sivanesan also said that the involved farm located in Sungai Siput sub-district has been quarantined and the destruction and disposal of the remaining pig livestock in the farm will be carried out on January 17th in stages. He said the latest case brings the total number of ASF positive cases in Perak to 11 since last year, namely 1 in Hilir Perak, 5 cases in Batang Padang, 2 cases in Kerian and 3 cases in Kuala Kangsar. The married couple suspected to be involved in the explosion case which claimed the life of a waiter at a restaurant in Pandan Indah, Ampang on December 29th is set to be charged at the Ampang Magistrates Court on Monday. Ampang Jaya Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Muhammad in a statement said they would be charged at 10 a.m. at the court. He said the couple from Serdang, Kedah would be charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. In the 8:55 p.m. incident, a 28-year-old male waiter died of severe injuries after a parcel that was left on his car bonnet exploded. Police believe the homemade bomb was remotely detonated. Now, the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMEA, arrested 24 Vietnamese fishermen in 4 boats for conducting illegal fishing activities in Malaysian waters last Thursday. Kelantan MMEA Director Maritime Captain Syed Nur Adli Syed Abdul Rahman said they were detained between 90 and 106 nautical miles from the Tok Bali estuary. He said MMEA managed to intercept and perform forced boarding, which resulted in the foreign fishermen surrendering after they refused to cooperate and attempted to sail away when ordered to stop. He said the 4 boats, including fishing equipment and 1,200 litres of diesel oil supply, with a total value estimated at 1.66 million ringgit, were also seized. In Terengganu, a babysitter at a registered childcare centre pleaded not guilty in the Kuala Terengganu Sessions Court on Sunday to 7 charges of abusing a 4-month-old boy who is still in a comatose state. 27-year-old Raja Nur Ifa Nadia Raja Nordin is alleged to have abused the boy, causing the child to suffer injuries, including brain hemorrhaging and a fractured skull, at the childcare centre between January 1st and 3rd this year. The charge under the Child Act provides for a maximum fine of 50,000 ringgit or imprisonment of up to 20 years, or both, upon conviction. Judge Noria Osman allowed the woman bail of 30,000 ringgit with 1 surety for all charges and set February 15th for mention. The country's rainfall intensity keeps increasing year by year, and this has led to frequent flash floods happening across Malaysia, partly due to the country's drainage system being unable to cope with the heavy precipitation. While there are efforts to improve the infrastructure, experts have pointed out that now is the time to begin adapting to climate change instead of building bigger drains to address the country's flooding issue. Hakim Azman has the report.
According to the Malaysian Institute of Planners MIP President Datin Nuraida Saludin, climate change is one of the main factors contributing to the increase of rainfall density in Malaysia. However, the country's drainage system, which was designed based on past historical rainfall data, could no longer support the high volume of water resulting from the current weather condition. Based on World Bank data, precipitation in Malaysia increased to 3,297.34 millimeters in 2021 from 3,053.99 millimeters in the previous year.
And the solution is, I think, to go into a more natural solution, what is called sustainable urban design, sustainable drainage design. For example, if you go to Singapore, the Punggol River, before it was not a river, it was a drain, a big monsoon drain. They've converted that, they turned it into a river. So they changed the whole geometry of the drain, make it more natural, so that when the rain comes down, we slow down the amount of water that goes into the drain and let the water seep into the natural soil.
She also said this not only reduces the construction cost but also improves livability, promote innovation and reduce environmental impacts while maximizing economic and social benefits. Meanwhile, the Drainage and Irrigation Department (DID) agreed that a sustainable urban drainage system can emulate nature's natural method of removing excess water without increasing the risk of additional flooding. Its Director General, Datuk Mat Nasir Matno, however, said indiscriminate dumping of rubbish into drains by the public could halt efforts done by the government to improve the country's drainage system.
Problem when the construction completed, when they pass or give the right way to the government to take over, the problem is maintenance. And number one, we worried in this country, the drainage system is clogging. Even though we put a very proper design on construction, 100 years protection level, once it clogged, reduce to half, 50 years, 20 years. That's why water spill over.
Datuk Mat Nasir noted lack of allocations and drainage reserves to construct new drains as well as rising sea levels are among the major obstacles faced by the department. He added that the DID had presented to the Cabinet that 400 billion ringgit would be required to implement a long-term solution to overcome the country's flood problems. Among the focus will be flood mitigation, construction of embankments and prevention of coastal erosion. It also includes multi-purpose dams and underground discharge channels such as in Japan or Germany to divert flood water. The country's poor, outdated, inefficient drainage system is in need of an urgent upgrade. This is not only to prevent flash floods from occurring, but also to develop a more sustainable urban drainage system that could manage pollution risks. Hakim Azman, TV3.
Peru declares state of emergency over protests that killed 42. This and more from the Foreign Front when we return. Welcome back to the Foreign Front. In Nepal, at least 68 people were confirmed dead on Sunday after a plane with 72 on board crashed in Pokhara, the Himalayan country's deadliest aviation disaster in 3 decades. According to officials, 32 bodies have been taken to hospitals, while 36 others were still in the 300-meter gorge the aircraft plunged into. Authorities said it is difficult to bring the bodies as the aircraft crashed into a gorge, but search and rescue operation is still ongoing. The flight set out with 68 passengers on board, including at least 15 foreign nationals and 4 crew members. It was understood that the plane took off at 10:30 a.m. local time on Sunday and crashed off the banks of the Seti Gandaki River just 10 to 20 seconds before it was due to land at the newly opened Pokhara International Airport. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, in the meantime, has called an emergency meeting of his cabinet and urged state agencies to work on rescue operations. U.S. President Joe Biden on Sunday has declared a major disaster in California as the latest in a succession of storm systems blew into the state, bringing heavy flooding to already waterlogged regions and threatening snowfalls of up to 2 meters. Biden declared that a major disaster exists in the state of California and ordered federal aid to supplement regional recovery efforts in the areas affected by severe storms, flooding, landslides and mudslides. The declaration makes federal funding available for relief to affected people, including temporary housing and repairs. According to the National Weather Service, the latest system was expected to bring heavy lower elevation rain, significant mountain snow and strong winds, with another surge of Pacific moisture expected Monday. As of Sunday, it was reported that there were more than 16,000 homes without power in California, with nearly 26 million people remain under a flood watch. Peru's capital Lima was under a state of emergency Sunday, along with 3 other regions, as the government responded to weeks-long protests against President Dina Boluarte that have seen at least 42 people killed. The state of emergency, in force for 30 days, authorizes the army to intervene to maintain order and suspends several constitutional rights, such as freedom of movement and assembly, according to a decree published in the official Gazette. It covers Lima and the regions of Cusco and Puno, as well as the port of Callao, adjacent to the capital. The mass anti-government demonstrations first broke out in early December after former President Pedro Castillo was ousted from office for attempting to dissolve Congress and rule by decree, seeking to prevent an impeachment vote against him. Supporters of the ousted president have taken to the streets and blocked roads across the South American country, demanding fresh elections and the removal of Boluarte, who has refused to step down. sport, world number one Victor Axelsen retained his Malaysia Open crown on Sunday with a comfortable win over Japan's Kodai Naraoka in the final of the 2023 Malaysia Open at Axiata Arena. The Great Dane, who has enjoyed a stunning 2022 season, got off the blocks real quick and raced to a 21-6, 21-15 win in just 40 minutes. Meanwhile, Naraoka admitted that he was tired from playing in long matches all week and found it hard to contain Axelsen's power on court. Axelsen, who is the first European men's singles player to successfully defend the Malaysia Open crown, pocketed $87,500 in prize money. In the women's singles category, world number one Akane Yamaguchi ended Japan's 55-year wait to claim back the Malaysia Open women's singles title, edging South Korean An Se-young in the final. In Sunday's exciting final at the Axiata Arena, Yamaguchi bounced back from 12-21 down in the first set to deny Se-young the honor of becoming the first Korean champion by winning the remaining sets 21-19, 21-11. The win was her first ever in a Malaysia Open final. Meanwhile, world number one men's doubles Fajar Alfian Muhammad Rian Ardianto of Indonesia was clearly in a class of their own when they defeated China's Liang Weikeng Wang Cheng 21-18, 18-21, 21-13. The victory saw the runners-up of the 2019 and 2022 World Badminton Championships successfully blocking China's dominance from claiming all the doubles titles in the tournament. Earlier, world number one women's doubles Chen Qingchen Jia Yifan of China defeated the world's 20th pair Baekhana Lee Yu Lim of South Korea 21-16, 21-10 in a match that lasted 52 minutes. Qingchen, the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games silver medalist, however, admitted that the match against the 2022 Japan Open runners-up was not easy due to the Korean solid defense. China also clinched the mixed doubles title when its world number one pair, Zheng Ziwei Hua Yaqiong, won the Malaysian Open title for the fourth consecutive time after defeating Japan's Yuta Watanabe, Arisa Higashino, 21-19, 21-11. On to football. A-League leaders Melbourne City were held to a 1-1 draw by the Western Sydney Wanderers on Sunday. The match statistics proved how one-sided the game was. City had 31 shots to the Wanderers' 2 and had 13 corners to Western Sydney's none. Despite City's dominance, it was the Wanderers who went ahead in the 19th minute through Brandon Barello. City continued to attack in the second half and finally netted their well-deserved equaliser 5 minutes later through impressive import Richard van der Ven. Melbourne City are 4 points ahead of the second-place Central Coast Mariners on the table. In another match, 10-men Western United avoided wooden spoon as they drew 1-1 against Newcastle Jets on Sunday. Lachlan Wales put United ahead in the 13th minute before Daniel Steins equalised 4 minutes later. United are now with 12 points, a point ahead of Melbourne Victory. After this breather, shoe outlet at Sri Kembangan Shopping Mall raised in fire. Thanks for staying with us. In Selangor, a shoe shop at the Mines shopping mall was burnt down in a fire in Seri Kembangan. No victims were involved in the fire. Selangor Fire and Rescue Department Director Datuk Norazam Khamis said the incident occurred at about 11:52 a.m. on Sunday. He said firemen from 3 fire stations were dispatched to the scene. The shop lot was completely destroyed in the fire, which was brought under control by 12:25 p.m. The Fire and Rescue Department is still investigating the cause of the fire. In Pulau Pinang, police caught a man believed to have snatched the handbag of a woman in Georgetown on Thursday after a video clip of the theft was widely circulated. The video clip showed the man approaching the woman and snatching her handbag, which was slung over her right shoulder. The woman suffered injuries to her right hand and losses amounting to 2,800 ringgit. The unemployed man, aged 37, was believed to have been involved in several snatch theft cases in the state, including 2 cases in Pulau Pinang this year. Police seized 2 mobile phones, a shirt, a helmet, 3 bank cards, cash and a motorcycle for further investigation. The man was caught in Simpang 4 Seberang Perai Selatan at 12:15 a.m. on Saturday as a result of intelligence and surveillance carried out by police. He tested positive for methamphetamine and had 5 previous criminal offences on record. And that wraps up this edition of Nightline. But before we go, let's take a look at China's grandest traditional festival in Guizhou, where people across the province were staging joyous activities to greet the Lunar New Year. As the Spring Festival approaches, spectacular drone light shows were staged at a mountainous village in Zunyi, creating festive images in mid-air. With that, I'm Muhammed. Thank you for watching and have a productive week ahead.